Welcome back to Around the Block Volleyball. We've reached the most exciting time for men's college volleyball, the conference playoffs. We're going to get straight into predictions and thoughts right after we go over last week's matches. Starting off our match reviews, let's just go over PVF. Let's start off on Wednesday for the PVF. We had the San Diego Mojo going down 1-3 versus the Columbus Fury. So the player of that game was Megan Courtney Lush. She had 12 kills on 28.1% efficiency. She had 1 block and 2 aces. 12 digs, and great serve receive as well.
Yeah, I think this was kind of interesting because it kind of felt like San Diego might have had a chance to at least, compete for a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. But these are still two of the lower teams anyways. Yeah. So interesting that Columbus Fury, they have strung a couple wins together though.
Yeah. Recently they have been winning a little bit more than expected. So that part is pretty interesting. I mean, I think they're already out of playoffs for sure, so
yeah.
I guess every match doesn't matter too much, but it's interesting.
Still go out there and compete.
Yeah. Put on a show for your fans. I think they were playing at home, so it's good that they won for the fans. But yeah, I think that's pretty good for this game. Let's move on to Thursday, where we have a game with still some standing implications. We had the Vegas Thrill beating the Indy Ignite in 5 sets. So, player of the game, we had Lauren Jardine, who had 19 kills, 31.8% efficiency, 3 blocks, and 1 ace. But more importantly, the Indy Ignite lost.
Yeah, this is tough, especially when we've been talking about Vegas still. They've been slipping for weeks now, and we thought, hey, maybe this is a time where, this makes it easier for Indy Ignite in the standings, but you lose this game, that is definitely tough.
Yeah, this is also the second to last week, so this is kind of where everyone needs to try and secure their spots, and I think the other 3 playoff teams have been secured. It's just Indy Ignite and Grand Rapids fighting for that 4th spot, so really not a great loss for Indy Ignite. But we still want to shout out Katie Baird for Indy. She had 28 kills on 35.4% efficiency and 2 blocks to go on top of that. She really wanted to win. It just didn't work out for them in the end.
That's the thing. I think Indy is definitely one of the really talented teams, for sure, where definitely not to be slept on when playoffs come. I think for sure that they're a team that I think there might be levels to it still, where we have the true contenders, but I think they are a sneaky team that's talented where you're playing one match for playoffs, they might have a chance.
Yeah, no, they're definitely super good. I don't know what happened here, but we can move on to the next game, which is very on topic, where the Omaha Supernovas did the Indy Ignite a favor and beat the Grand Rapids Rise 3-0. Swept them, made sure that the Grand Rapids Rise are staying in that 5th place as of right now. Player of the game, we had Natalia Valentine Anderson, who had 30 assists, 10 digs, 2 blocks, and 1 kill of her own.
Yeah, and this is still big for Omaha as well. These games still matter a lot because this is them trying to secure the number 1 seed.
Yeah. I think they're still up there about tied with the Atlanta Vibe.
They're just above them right now, but it's off games played.
Yeah. It's like they're probably like a half game up or half game down. Or I guess they're up.
Yeah, half game up.
Yeah. So very important win for them and tough loss for the Grand Rapids Rise. I mean, it looked like I actually thought that we're going to make this last push. They still can, but if they were able to pull off this game, I think they would have been
huge.
Yeah, they might have taken that spot. It would have looked good for them. But we can move on to Friday's game. Mattered a little bit less, where the Orlando Valkyries 3-0'd the Columbus Fury. As it usually goes for the Valkyries, Brittany Abercrombie was player of the game. She had 19 kills on 50% efficiency. 1 block and 12 digs.
This is why we were talking about, this is the type of games that made us be like, yeah, she should be the MVP.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's actually just crazy that like a right side like that is just able to just dominate like that. Because even when we were talking about, even during like League 1 and stuff, 50% efficiency, she's just putting balls away. And 19 kills is crazy to still be that efficient.
Yeah, especially 19 kills in a 3-0 game.
Yeah.
So there weren't that many points to like...
She really almost won a set by herself.
Yeah, that's...
in 3 sets.
nasty work.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this helped them. I'm not sure if this is the exact game, but I think this helped them clinch their playoff spot. So they're secured in, I think they're third right now.
Yeah, still important for them too. I think there's still a chance that they can be dropped down to 4 and get caught by Indy, but it's 3 or 4 for them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And winning the games that they should be winning like this one can help them just cement their spot.
Yeah, I think this is one of the small pushes that they needed to really like stay up there.
For sure.
But now we can move on to the final day of PVF, which was Saturday. We had the matchup that we were just talking about, the Indy Ignite versus the Grand Rapids Rise, and the Grand Rapids Rise came out on top 3-1. So super big game. I think this left them almost tied in the standings, and I think this might mean that the Rise have the game up on them. I'm still a little bit confused on how like tiebreakers work if anything happens. There's like points and all that, and as well as record, so not sure, but super good game for the Grand Rapids Rise. We had player of the game, Ali Bastianelli, who had 12 kills on 32.3% efficiency, and also 9 blocks. Put on a show.
Yeah. I mean, she has been like the blocking queen for the league.
Yeah.
She's just been unstoppable on that, just controlling the net.
Yeah, insane.
So, I mean, almost getting a double-double with the blocks is just crazy. I mean, the fact that it's also 4 sets, usually you hear about that, you think that it's going to be like a 5-set, like long grind-out game, but nope. She did it in 4.
Yeah.
Still crazy.
She is kind of like that. I mean, she's established herself as like the star blocking middle of the league, and we just have to keep respecting her.
And yeah, like we were saying, this is definitely a really big game. Like looking at the standings right now, Grand Rapids has played 1 more game, but their record is a little bit worse. But this definitely helped them get them that much closer to try and catch.
Are they tied in wins or 1 down?
1 down, but they've played 1 extra game.
So
Indy is 12-12,
Yeah.
and then Grand Rapids is 11-14.
Okay, yeah. So everything everything
really
obviously
close.
has to get solved next week, but it could be very close. This is a photo finish, basically.
Yeah, it's really close for sure.
Well, that is very hype, and we're gonna keep our eyes on that because that's probably the most exciting thing left in the league. Just fighting to continue playing. Definitely the last thing we need to keep our eyes on, truly.
Yeah, I think
before playoffs at least.
Yeah, and honestly, the way that I'm looking at it, the standings, I think this is probably how it's going to end. I don't think that's really like a crazy take, though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty much
the Rise are still chasing.
Yeah, the way I see it, the way that the standings are, I think that's just how it's going to finish. I still think Omaha might be able to just stay at number 1. It is really close, though, but that's just how I feel.
Well, speaking of that, we can move on to our next game where the Atlanta Vibe actually 3-0'd the Supernovas. So that was crazy. And the player of the game was Marley Monserez, who had 46 assists, 3 kills, and 7 digs. And she set the assist record in a 3-0 game for the PVF because 46 assists in a 3-0 is absurd.
I don't even know how that is just so crazy that even happens. I mean, usually there's so much siding out and other things going on.
Just errors in general.
It's crazy that they just got that many kills as a team, winning a 3-setter game, and then 46 assists is crazy.
Yeah, and that's not even taking into account that sometimes things are out of system. The libero has to take the ball. Other players have to set it up. So the fact that she got 46 is crazy. I mean, it's obviously a team effort, but that's insane. Perfect setting from her. And just going into the implications of this is what really makes the number 1, number 2 seed race
that much
pretty
closer
tight.
For sure. Yeah, and I was just talking about it, but yeah, this definitely makes it a lot closer where they are really interchangeable until probably the last game of the season.
Yeah,
it really looks like that.
It's this 1-2, and then the 4-5 that we're really gonna have to keep our eyes on to finish out the season because these things do have. I mean, they basically just run the playoffs. It'll dictate how everything goes, and we need to see what happens. But now we can move on to the final game of the PVF for this week. It was the Vegas Thrill and the San Diego Mojo going 5, with the San Diego Mojo going out on top. The game player of the game, we had Yasmin Bardat Ghani, who had 17 kills on 32.6% efficiency with 3 blocks and 3 aces. So amazing all-around game from her.
Really good game for her. But again, this is what we've been talking about. Vegas Thrill has been on a major slide, and this is against the team that now they're actually tied in record with. Where you look at the beginning of the season, even halfway through the season, you thought that like this Vegas Thrill team should be beating San Diego.
Well, you even thought that they were like a playoff lock, and here they are, out of contention already.
Yeah, they're right now in the number 2 seed, given this loss.
Yeah.
So, or the bottom second, like they're 7th now, and that's just I don't know. I don't know what happens now, but yeah, this is just a big game where, not that it matters for the standings anymore, but it's crazy that they lost this game too.
Yeah, I mean, for the PVF in general, this is going a little bit broader now. I don't know if we ever see that much like off-season like trades, moves, like things like that. But if I'm the Thrill, if you see what happened in that second half of the season, something's got to change because that's a meltdown.
Yeah, and it's interesting to say, like I don't think it's fair to put blame on any particular person. This is just clearly whatever they're doing is not working. So off-season work, changing in the coaching or the players, like there's just so many things that they have to do something about it.
Yeah, honestly, I think it might have to be addressed in the coaching. I don't know if they necessarily have to change coaches, but it's something that you just have to look at and be like, what happened in the middle of the season where the coach kind of not lost control, but like wasn't able to help the team continue to perform at the highest level.
Yeah, it's that, or like the players just not executing what they need to be doing.
Yeah.
Like there's that too. There's a lot that goes into it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're not even in that locker room, so we don't know what it's like. But it's a crazy story to just see the rise of Vegas Thrill and then the insane fall that they've taken.
Yeah, they were one of my favorite teams, and now here they are at the bottom, and it's tough, especially because my other favorite team is like the San Diego Mojo, so both at the bottom. not a great picking for me.
Holding hands together at the bottom.
Yeah.
Right above Columbus Fury.
Yep, and the Columbus Fury are already close, so that's tough. PVF, we still got one more week left, and it's going to be interesting. Like we said, there are those storylines to follow, but it's time for us to move on to the NCAA men's. This is where everything is going on. We got playoffs. This is deciding the national playoffs. This is important. Let's go over the games. On Thursday, we had a big one also. We had GCU versus Stanford. So 5-setter, GCU came out on top. Player of the game, we had Trent Moser, who had 17 kills, 35.5% efficiency with 3 aces and 3 block assists.
Yeah, this is a tough game for Stanford to lose. I mean, This was a crazy back and forth, and coming down to the wire, I think GCU just, they showed why they're still top 10. I think they're like right there, and this is one of those games where, beating Stanford is huge just because they're in that same tier, and obviously 5-setter, this is a big win, and Trent Moser, Jarrett Anderson, those guys are insane. Yeah, and great game from Trent Moser, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, we know what happens to them later on, so let's give them their credit now. This is great game from them. But we'll move on to the next one, where we had CSUN versus UCI. UCI 3-0'd. Player of the game, Clear Heno, as usual. 20 kills, 52.9% efficiency, 5 aces and 2 block assists. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think this is just one of those games where it just makes you feel like there's definitely levels to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, CSUN, I feel like, has been there, like, knocking at the door of that top 5.
Yeah.
But that top 5, I feel like, is still pretty locked in right now. And there's just levels to it. This is a 3-0 sweep. You literally cannot stop this guy, Heno, so it's just one of those games, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is also another big implication for the conference playoffs where we'll go over it later, but somehow CSUN ended up being the 6th seed in the Big West, so this was a tough loss for them to take.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be tough. But let's move on. We got another huge game. We got the Battle of LA.
Oh, yeah.
USC versus UCLA. It was amazing. 5-setter. UCLA came out on top just barely. We had player of the game as Cooper Robinson with 25 kills, 53.7% efficiency, and 3 block assists. But we have to shout out Zach Rama for carrying the hell out of that fifth set.
That fifth set was amazing.
Oh my God. He made sure that UCLA won that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Quick shout out to Matthew Houlihan. This was so fun. He has honestly some of the best content out there on Instagram. And he was he said it was the battle of the Crips and the Bloods. I just thought I had to say that because it's just so funny.
We'll just call it the Battle of LA, you know.
Yeah. We'll call it the Battle of LA.
He's got that. It was
so funny. It was so funny that he said that. But I mean, yeah, exactly. This was probably one of the best games to watch for this weekend. And yeah, Zach Rama coming in super clutch.
Oh my God.
But we have to talk about USC. I think they're so banged up. This is so tough for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll talk about it later what happens. But, you know, Dylan Klein, we kind of saw during that game, he didn't look like he was fully there at times. But then he comes out, hits a crazy bick. And I'm like, so is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Does he feel good? Does he not feel good? Yeah. It's so hard to tell. But, I mean, he's still been muscling through. He's still been playing. And he definitely still looks good at times. So, you know, UCLA wins this game. But USC, they were right there.
Yeah, it was a crazy banger game. And I think this might be what secured UCLA the #1 seed in the MPSF. Yeah. So that was an important game, but let's move on to Friday, where we had the first game of the day was Pepperdine versus BYU, which also went 5. BYU came out on top. Another big game for the kind of 5 to 10 seeds. This is kind of where they were figuring out their own seedings, their own standings. We had player of the game, Luke Benson. He had 19 kills on 51.5% efficiency. 2 aces, 1 solo block, and 2 block assists. And first off, what is up with everyone getting these 50% efficiency games? Like, damn.
I guess that's just a men's game, though.
I mean, but that's still insanely high because normally you expect a lot of errors to go along with it. It's like, at least not 50%. Like, dang.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy because, like, hitting percentage is like one thing where it's like, oh, you're just looking at, you know, kills and then the attempts. But efficiency, right, when you factor in the errors, there are a lot of players that their stats look a lot worse when you look at the efficiency. But, hey, this is another crazy game for Luke Benson. I mean, I think it is kind of crazy with, like, BYU, Pepperdine. Those are definitely, like, 2 pretty good teams. They're, like, in the top 10 right there. But, you know, BYU coming out.
Yeah, I mean, that's an important one. But we have to move on. We have GCU and Stanford matching up again, 5 sets, and GCU came out on top this one. And we had player of the game being Kyle Zedeker, who had 45 assists, 3 kills of his own, and 1 block assist to go on along with it. And
this is just heartbreak for Stanford, man. Yeah. I mean, you try and win the rematch, another 5-setter, and then just can't beat GCU.
Yeah, I mean, Stanford, you want to be winning these. This is not a great way to end the season, head into playoffs like this, but I guess GCU also headed into playoffs like this.
Yeah, had their chances. I mean, definitely pushed them, obviously, because both games went to 5, but not coming out with the win is definitely tough.
not getting one of them that's pretty tough. You want to roll into playoffs with a win.
Yeah, not splitting is tough. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And speaking of rolling into playoffs with no wins, we got Long Beach versus UC San Diego. Unfortunately, it was UCSD's senior night, and Long Beach said, we don't care, beat them 3-0. Player of the game, Nato Dickinson with 16 kills on 42.3% efficiency and 3 block assists. Long Beach just dismantled UCSD, but that's kind of what we expected.
Yeah, not a crazy game, but yeah, it sucks for UCSD on senior night. Yeah,
and I mean, I think UCSD was still able to hold on to that 4 seed in the Big West, but they wanted to prove something. Hopefully, they couldn't. But let's stick with the Big West. Let's move on to the final game of Friday. We have Hawaii versus UC Santa Barbara, and Hawaii came out on top in 4 sets. And player of the game, we have Adrian Ruhr, who had 16 kills and 1 ace.
Taking care of business. That's it, honestly.
Yep. Doing UCSD a favor out here, making sure that UC Santa Barbara stays at 5. So that's pretty nice. I like that. But now we can move on to Saturday, where we go back to the Battle of LA, where it was a lot less interesting, where USC won 3-0 this time.
Yeah, this is just a really interesting game.
Yeah.
I feel like you would think that the rematch would have been just hopefully, not even thinking, but just hoping that it'd be just as good.
Yeah.
Or close. It was not close.
Yeah, I mean
it's just sweep.
Yeah.
Not much else to say.
Nothing crazy interesting from this. I mean, we had our player of the game being Sterling Foley, who had 6 kills, 1 ace, 3 solo blocks, and 3 block assists. So great blocking game from the freshman. But yeah, we can move on to the rematch between Pepperdine and BYU. BYU won this one in 4. And player of the game we had Mix Romanis, who had 18 kills on 48.3% efficiency with 3 aces and 1 block assist. So great game from BYU. And it's, again, how you want to be moving into playoffs. You want to be coming off a win, feeling good, playing well as a team. And this is good. These are the last games before playoffs for a lot of these teams. So this is good for how you want to get into it.
Yeah, just another big game for BYU to win this one. So not really much else to it.
Yep. And for another big game, UCI and CSUN in their rematch actually went 5, with UCI still coming out on top. Player of the game, Halir Heno. Again.
Who else would you think it was?
Yep. 26 kills, 41.7% efficiency, 1 ace, and 1 solo block. Helped carry them to victory again and made sure that they enter in the Big West tournament on a win streak, actually, and made sure that CSUN is entering in on losses and sending them down to 6th place.
I think this is very interesting, though, with how good UCI is looking going into playoffs. I think, that lineup change was also really interesting. I think the fact that now Flexen being on the outside and then Darcy coming in.
Yeah.
And Darcy is producing right now.
Yeah, they made their lineup huge. Oh my God.
Huge. It's so difficult to stop now because, it's just hyper aggressive.
Offensive weapons, insane. The blocking's insane.
Yeah, Nolan Flexen really just showing that he can play both ends, and it's not a problem.
Yeah, and now they have figured it out, so they are headed into playoffs looking great.
I will say, though, I definitely did not know that it was Nolan Flexen for a second because of the Buzz haircut.
Yeah, let's talk about that haircut. Ooh, that was a big change in 1 week.
I know. He can do what he wants. He still looks good. It just shocked me because I did not know who that was.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
I saw the number, though. I'm like, no, that's him. Number 9, that's him for sure. But no hair. From having the long, or like the medium-ish long hair, flowing in the wind as he's jumping up there, reaching... to 11 feet, 12 feet, or whatever the heck it is. And then to just nothing at all, I'm like, oh, wow. That was crazy. It was very difficult. I was like, who is that?
He's getting aerodynamic for playoffs.
And then someone says flex, and I'm like, oh.
Weird.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yep. But let's move on to our next game of the week. Second to last, actually, we have UCSD again falling to Long Beach in 3 sets. Player of the game, Moni Nikolov. Happens a lot. 35 assists, 6 kills of his own, 3 aces, and 2 block assists. Long Beach entering in super hot, coming off a lot of wins. UCSD now entering in the tournament on a 5-game loss streak, so not looking good for us.
Yeah, that's definitely just big for momentum. I think that just makes it feel a lot tougher. Even though, they're still the 4th seed?
Yeah, 4th seed.
Right, that's still really good for them, but it just makes it feel a lot tougher now just because of not really much momentum going into the playoffs. Yeah,
feeling obviously a little bit more dejected, but hopefully it makes you a little bit hungry to perform this upcoming week. And Long Beach, obviously on their heater, and it's going to continue in this Big West tournament.
Yeah.
But last game of the week that we're going to cover, we have Hawaii losing 0-3 to UC Santa Barbara, almost messing up this UC Santa Barbara seeding. Come on, Hawaii, what the hell? But,
it's like they just mailed it in, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I think all seedings and everything's all figured out, so maybe they didn't care too much. But player of the game, we had Jess Bianchi, who had 21 kills, 45% efficiency, 1 ace, and 1 block assist. So that's all the Big West stuff we have right now. And we can move on to the conference playoffs now because you may have noticed we did skip over some games, but that's because they were conference playoffs already. So let's start off with the MIVA, who did start playing their games. It was this past Saturday. We had number 1 Loyola Chicago 3-0ing number 8 Queens. Kind of expected. We had Parker Van Buren being player of that game with 10 kills, 3 aces. It was just
not crazy stats, but obviously still impactful for the team. So.
It's a 3-0. It's the 1 versus the 8 seed. We expected this one a little bit. But now let's move on to the next game where it actually is very interesting. We had number 4 Lewis versus number 5 Ball State. Reminder that Ball State was ranked in the top 10. I think they might have even been 5 they were ranked number 5 in the nation preseason prediction by the coaches. Now they're all the way down to number 5 in MIVA.
In MIVA.
Yeah. So big fall from grace, and their season comes to an end as they lose to Lewis in 5 sets.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis just looking really, really good. I feel like just watching how they've been playing, even leading up to the playoffs, definitely looking really good. And then, Ball State falling in 5.
That's tough. Ball State, we expected a little bit more, but here we are, unfortunately. But as for Lewis, the player of the game, we had Oguzhan Oguz, who had 22 kills on 34% efficiency with 1 ace and 7 block assists. So great blocking game from him. But yeah, let's just move on because the next round already happened too. So next we had number 3 Ohio State 3-1 versus number 6 Lindenwood. Player of the game, Shane Wetzel, who had 16 kills and 4 aces. Ohio State taking care of business.
Yeah, and Shane Wetzel just being as impactful as he's been the whole season too. I feel like he's been really important for that Ohio State team and showing it in the playoffs.
Yes, and he is balling during these playoffs. We will see moving forward. But this last game of the first round, we have number 2 McKendree 3-0ing Purdue Fort Wayne, number 7 player of the game, Nathan Flater, who had 34 assists, 4 kills of his own, 1 ace and 2 block assists. McKendree took care of business. This is the 7th seed, so we expect these wins.
I'm just saying, this is one of my teams. I kept on talking about this team throughout the season. Just super fun to watch. I love just watching their bench sometimes, like just the shenanigans that they pull. But obviously, big one for them. Help them go into the next round.
Yep, and now let's talk about these semis because they just happened for us. We are on Thursday. This is Thursday right now. They just happened yesterday. First game, Loyola 3-0 Lewis. Player of the game, Parker Van Buren again. 22 kills, 43.6% efficiency, 2 aces. And more importantly, Loyola was actually able to beat Lewis. They had lost the season series to them. It was a little scary.
The kryptonite. When we saw them on the bracket and we saw that they were on the same side,
I was like,
we were like,
God.
Is there a chance?
I know.
Can this happen?
I was like, is it an upset alert? Because, hold up.
But no, they took care of business. Yeah. Obviously, Parker Van Buren took care of business. Did not mess around.
Yeah, I mean, they made sure that they won this one after the 2 losses in the season. Yeah. So, great win for Loyola Chicago. But now we can move on to a real upset. The other game in the semifinals, we had Ohio State 3-0ing McKendree.
I know.
Crazy.
My honey badgers.
Goodbye, McKendree. It was a great Cinderella run season. We really thought that a lot was going to happen, but I don't know if they're going to make the national championship matches. Yeah. So Ohio State is here. Their player of the game was Shane Wetzel again. He had 10 kills, 3 aces, and 7 digs.
Again, he's just been so impactful. Happens again in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you honestly would expect nothing less.
Yeah, and that brings us to the finals that are going to happen this upcoming Saturday and who we think is going to win. We have Loyola versus Ohio State. I think still got to give it to Loyola Chicago.
I agree.
They're just that next level.
I agree. I think I also would just be taking Loyola Chicago here. I think Parker Van Buren, I think he has the ability to take over the game in the match, and I'm going to assume that is going to happen. So yeah. I wouldn't say 3-0 necessarily, though. I mean, it could happen, but maybe in 4.
Yeah, Ohio State's still playing really, really well right
For
now.
sure,
So
yeah.
we have to give them some credit. So maybe they're going to take a set, maybe even take 2 sets.
Yeah.
But still going to give it to Loyola Chicago. I mean, there's a reason that they've basically been sitting at number 6 for the entire season nationally. So that's who we're going with. We'll see in 2 days. And now let's move to the MPSF playoffs. Theirs is super weird. They got like a weird gauntlet bracket going on where it's like the bottom seed teams play, then the winner of those play the next game, then the winner of that plays the next game, and on until the finals.
I'm going to be honest, and I think our boy first seed volleyball, I think he already talked about this. This just doesn't make any sense.
It's stupid.
I don't know why you wouldn't just have a play-in game to play against UCLA and then just run a regular 8-team bracket from that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they did the gauntlet thing. Like, I guess it can be kind of cool, like more emphasis on each game, and you got to play more to keep on going. But I'm not a fan of it. I don't really think it's that interesting.
It would give like the possibility if the conference was super even. It'd be like, oh, maybe we're gonna have a Cinderella run, but I don't think that's really going to be happening, and it's just going to be weird because now we're only going to get like 2 games of UCLA and USC playing each, and
yeah, and to be fair, it's like, okay, yes, like any one of these teams, not all of them, a couple of these teams can just win the whole conference, but I don't know why you have to make it like this for that to happen. I think a regular semi, like how they would do like a quarterfinal bracket, like that would have been fine and there wouldn't have been a problem with that.
Yeah.
You would still get the teams that you want to face off against each other, but they decided to do this gauntlet thing. I don't know.
Gauntlet's super weird.
And also just they're the only ones that did it. Like, I don't know why this was the route that they chose.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it also gives the possibility that similar to what happened in League One where like the first and second seeds aren't playing any games, then they have to play suddenly. Maybe they drop the game and then they're out, but that's also stupid. And
I think it feels like that can like take out the momentum for those teams, or not take out the momentum, but it gives momentum to the teams that already get there. Because even if it's okay, sure, if it's like a GCU, then it makes sense, or these other teams, it makes sense if they get there. But say a Concordia, if they make it all the way over there, yes, they still can lose to UCLA because, I mean, UCLA should just be the better team. But if Concordia made it all the way down there, there's a reason why they're there, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, maybe there's an upset, but you could have just done that in a regular bracket.
Yeah, I don't really understand it. It just makes UCLA... I mean, I guess that's the reward for them. UCLA, USC play less games, but it's kind of stupid.
Yeah. All right, enough of us ranting about the bracket formation, but it's fine.
Let's get into it. First game happened on Tuesday. It was the 8 versus 9 seed, Concordia versus Vanguard. Concordia came out on top, 4 sets. Player of the game, T.S. Cornelissen, who had 20 kills, 2 aces. Let's just move past this one quickly because it's a gauntlet bracket. And moving on to Wednesday, the next round happened. Concordia got eliminated, so GCU 3-0'd them. Player of the game, Trent Moser, 11 kills, 2 aces. Exactly what we expected. And again, we'll move on really fast. Then we had Stanford versus Menlo, a little bit of a better matchup, a little bit more hype, but Stanford in the end still won 3-1 over Menlo.
Yep. Teo Snooey.
Yeah.
He's been actually really, really good.
Yes, that was our player of the game with 23 kills on 31% efficiency.
Yeah, and just shout out to him. I mean, winning AVCA Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. I mean, he's just been on a roll for Stanford, so just another big game for him.
Hopefully he's taking the momentum in moving forward, but we'll see. And then now we're moving on to Thursday. Today we are filming this in between the GCU Pepperdine game and the BYU Stanford game. So GCU versus Pepperdine already happened. Pepperdine won 3-0. GCU season unfortunately comes to an end, but congratulations to Ryan Barnett and Cole Hartke with 28 combined kills for Pepperdine. Great game from both of them, and they're moving on to this semis versus UCLA.
Big. I feel like Pepperdine, that was just a big win for them. And GCU obviously was winning those those games kind of giving them some momentum. But Pepperdine just coming out on top.
Yeah, showing that they're still a great team and not to be overlooked.
Yeah, and just those two, that two-headed snake of Ryan Barnett and Cole Hartke, they've been phenomenal the whole season. They showed why.
Yeah.
3-0.
Yep. So the next game that will be happening today is, and probably will be finished, it will be finished by the time this goes up. It'll be BYU versus Stanford.
Trying to look right now.
It's going to be hard to tell. I mean, I really like Stanford, so I really want them to win, but BYU also been looking good. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it should be a good game. I think they're pretty evenly matched. I'm not expecting a 3-0, hopefully.
Okay, just live update while we're filming. 22-22 in the first set. So
Okay, yeah, exactly. Close
Really
game,
close.
like we expected. But I'm hoping Stanford wins. Doesn't really matter, I guess, in the end, because these teams will be playing against UCLA and USC moving forward. And that takes us to what will happen on Friday, where it'll be UCLA versus Pepperdine, and then USC versus whoever wins between this BYU-Stanford game. I'm assuming we're both going to take UCLA versus USC to move on.
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like that just makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, I just kind of want to see another.
Yeah, we need to see the matchup again.
I want another rematch.
Yeah. We just need another one. After that 3-0, I mean, we need to see what happens.
I just want to see another one.
Yeah. So,
Selfishly, I want to see it happen again.
Yep. So the finals, we're hoping we have UCLA versus USC, and I want to see UCLA win this, but I would not mind USC because I think they're both making it to the national playoffs anyways.
For sure.
So I don't care who wins, and
yeah,
whatever.
I think just for UCLA's sake, they probably, you want this if you're trying to three-peat.
Yeah.
This is the way that you have to do it.
I mean, yeah.
To three-peat for national
most of the time, it
championships.
does start with the conference.
Yeah.
So
We'll see. We'll have to stay tuned for
that's
that.
going to be a super interesting one. And that takes us to our...
Sorry.
Here we go. Yeah.
Update, just Stanford wins first set.
Let's
25-23.
go. Let's go. That's big.
Yeah, Benson hitting error. And that... Oh, yeah. Service error and hitting error at the end.
Oh, that's
how
awkward.
Stanford wins.
That is tough.
All right, moving on. Big West.
Big West. I mean, this is obviously the smallest conference that we have to work with.
But this is the banger conference.
Yes, every game is going to be intense. Starting off, these games haven't happened yet because it's happening all in Hawaii right now. The crowds are going to be insane. But first
We're not
game...
going to be awake for that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be awake for that.
First game probably going on right now is UCSD versus UC Santa Barbara. So that's going to be a super fun one. Obviously, I'm rooting for UCSD.
I'll rock with it. With it.
I mean, they're super fun, super chippy team. I mean, who doesn't want to see them talking a little smack,
Yeah.
But then we'll have UCI versus CSUN. So
again, this is the third match that they've had in the past, week and a half, I guess, or 2 weeks. This is so tough for CSUN. So I kind of have to just take UCI here.
I mean, just the way UCI has been looking the entire season anyways.
And then in their matchups against CSUN, I'll have to go UCI.
You could always argue, they went from being like 0-3 to then they won 2 sets and maybe they'll turn it around. So it is possible. It will be very interesting, but let's be real. We're probably going to still take UCI in the end. And that'll move us on to Friday, where if our predictions are right, we're going to have Long Beach versus UCSD/UC Santa Barbara. Probably won't matter. Long Beach will probably win. We saw what they did to UCSD this last week.
I think they would do the same to UC Santa Barbara. So
yeah, it's probably going to be 3-0. And for the next game, we'd have Hawaii versus either UCI or CSUN, which is definitely a much more interesting game.
Yeah. I think UCI obviously will be the closer game.
Yeah.
But even CSUN, I think that game could also still be just really, really interesting to watch. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, this is a really hard one to take, but I just want to say CSUN ending up at number 6 is so weird.
Yeah, it's kind of BS if you ask me.
In the end, they are still the highest ranked in the national rankings of the bottom 3 teams. They just ended up at the bottom Big West, I guess, record.
I guess.
Yeah, I think at least versus UCSD, they lost that tie. They would be losing the tiebreaker. I'm not sure what happened with Santa Barbara, but anyways, versus Hawaii, UCI or CSUN, it's gonna be tough because Hawaii's playing at home.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what happened even against Long Beach. Obviously, Long Beach won that other game, but man, playing in Hawaii is gonna be really tough. I think. Obviously, the UH is gonna have that home cooking, that extra buzz in town and in the arena. So
yeah, I mean, I think
I don't know.
especially because this is the conference playoffs, the crowd will be extra bumping, and I mean, I think UCI and Hawaii split regular season, but still, I mean, I really just have to give it to Hawaii here just because of that like home court. Even though I think UCI is coming into playoffs playing on a heater.
yeah, I know that's what's making me really think about it is the fact that UCI has been doing really well, but I mean, I like Hawaii, so I'll also give Hawaii the nod here.
I think it's just playoffs at home for Hawaii. You just have to give it to Hawaii.
Yeah, I think that really plays a huge factor for this. The fact that they get to play at home here, I think that really helps. So, yeah. Hawaii over CSUN or UCI.
Yep. And then finals, it's according to our predictions, we're going to have Long Beach versus Hawaii.
This is what we want anyways. Woo-hoo. This is what we want.
Yeah, this is going to be a banger game. Even if it ends up being Long Beach versus UCI, I'm sure the Hawaii crowd will still show out.
For sure.
Gonna be a banger still.
I think they just love volleyball, man. Yeah. So it'll be great no matter what, but obviously it'd be really awesome if Hawaii is in the final.
Yeah. In the end, I'm still gonna have to take Long Beach winning the conference. I think they're hungry for it. Like sometimes they might have been getting a little aloof during the season. They dropped some games. Getting a little in their own heads, getting a little comfortable, but now that we're locked into playoffs, it's no time to be comfortable. They're going to be dialed in. They're going to be playing at their best.
This is tough, man. I also will have to just say Long Beach, but it is going to be really important how it looks Friday or tomorrow, just because I need to see how both teams are playing, and then that'll make me feel a lot better in who I think is going to win, but obviously, we don't know that yet. So, but right now, I think Long Beach has to take it. I think they've been generally a step up. Obviously, Hawaii took that one game, which was really huge. So if they do match up again, I think Hawaii has that extra bit of confidence that they should have.
Yeah, I think this will not be an easy win for Long Beach.
Yeah. Honestly, it would be insane if Long Beach does win it in 3-0, even 3-1. I think that is a little shocking to me. I would hope that Hawaii will take it to 5 if that's the matchup that we see.
But we'll also see, because Long Beach versus UCSD Santa Barbara, probably going to be pretty easy. Might even be a 3-0. And if that happens, they might be pretty well rested. And then these are back-to-back days, right? So if Hawaii has to play a 5-set banger, or if UCI comes out on top, 5-set banger, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think that side definitely has the tougher route, just because those games are probably going to go longer. Where your legs might be biting you a little bit more, might just be a little bit more tired than a Long Beach team that is probably going to win their game. And they might be a little bit more fresh coming into it. So there's that as well. There's a lot of things that, I mean, man, the final for this is going to be insane. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, definitely must watch. So stay tuned for that. Lock in for that. That's the big one. But I think that takes us to the end of all of our major conference predictions. So these are the main teams who are probably going to be competing for the NCAA championship. These are all their conferences. So let's move on to the conference awards for these same conferences. We can start off with MIVA, like we did before. I'll read out all MIVA first team, and we can react to it a little bit. But player of the year, Parker Van Buren. We all expected that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's been a complete beast. Newcomer of the year, we have Stanislaw Chasinski for Ohio State. Also been playing great. I think we've given him that Player of the Game award a couple times as well.
Yeah.
So he's been great. Coach of the Year, Nikki Sandlin from McKendree.
Well deserved, man. Well deserved. I mean, again, the whole meme of the who is McKendree, what is McKendree,
Yes.
I love that. But man, Coach definitely had him playing hard.
Yeah, this
Playing
team
hard,
is
playing
ended up
disciplined.
great.
Yeah, great energy. Obviously, season is going to be over now, but what a way to come out, though.
Yeah. This is a way to prove yourself, especially for next year, that you are a good program and you can attract recruits if you show yourself playing like this. But getting into the All-MIVA first team, I'll just read it as they have listed. First, we have Tianash Nevadazosheva from Ball State. I'm so sorry.
Let's just get this out of the way. If we mispronounce names, it is what it is. It's just hard to pronounce some of these names unless we're constantly watching and we're like fans of them. It's hard to really know how to say their names.
A lot of names to work with here.
So sorry for the butchered names, but
yeah,
give us a little bit of a break. Come on.
Yep. But also from Ball State, we're going to move on to Patrick Rogers. Then for Lewis, we have Oguzan Oguz. Well earned. For Loyola Chicago, we got 4 of them. Let's start off. We have Daniel Fabikovic. We have Ryan McElliott. We have Nico Meyer. We have Parker Van Buren. Well earned. Number 1 in MIVA for a reason. They earned it. And now for McKendree, they have Yadiel Diaz, Nate Flater for them. And then Ohio State obviously has Stanislaw Chasinski, like we said earlier. But they also have Shane Wetzel, who we talked about, really playing his heart out these playoffs. And Cole Young to round out the All-MIVA first team.
Yeah.
I think pretty good first team.
For sure. I think obviously you see the teams that should be dominating, and it makes sense. Like the old Chicago, obviously you got to put Ryan McElliott in there. Just one of the best setters, honestly, in the nation, I would say.
Yeah.
Even just because, I mean, he's just been setting up dimes for that team, running the offense great. So. And
I mean, he has them. He has them as one of the best offenses in
sure.
the nation. So
and the number 1 seed in MIVA. So it makes sense that they got 4 of their guys in the first team.
Yep. And now let's go on the second team.
So first we got from Ball State, Rajay Elaine.
Yep.
And then from Lewis, we have Frederick Kruger Beer. Lewis has 4 people. So Frederick Kruger Beer, Tyler Morgan, Nico Paula, and Max Roquette.
Yeah.
And then Lindenwood gets a player in here, Zach Solomon. McKendree has 3 more on the second team for MIVA. Sam Hoskin, De'Aaron McCraney, and Kevin Schul.
Yeah.
From Ohio State, they also got Daniel Henwood Rodriguez. Purdue Fort Wayne got Logan Muir.
Baller.
I think, he's been so damn good.
Could have been first team Loki, but
Yes,
whatever.
yes. Actually, could have been first team.
Yeah, I guess if the team was better.
Yeah. And for Quincy, Alexander Sosa.
Yeah. Very good. I mean, well earned from all these players.
Yeah, I think the only one that I'm like did think about was Logan Muir. I think that was the only player where I was like, he
Could have
really
pushed up.
Yeah, he really could have been higher. But,
Yeah, I guess it's just team performance,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I mean, he made second team, so
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
Still an award.
yeah. And
And-
well deserved for sure, so
Yeah.
can't be mad at it.
Yep. Now let's move on to the MPSF. We'll do the same thing. Their player of the year, Cooper Robinson from UCLA. Very, very easy award to give. Then freshman of the year, we have Cole Hartke from Pepperdine. So we gave him props a little bit earlier, but he is insanely good, and he's one of the reasons why Pepperdine is so good.
For sure, cannot sleep on this guy.
Yes.
I think just freshman, just been so good for them. Definitely well deserved.
Yes, earned it completely. And now we'll read off the. They get a lot of teams. They give out a lot of awards, but we'll just get straight into it. First off, for the first team, we have Cooper Robinson, given. Andrew Rowan, another given.
Yep.
Both UCLA. We know those guys. Then we have Ryan Barnett from Pepperdine. Again, we talked about how good he is. Dylan Klein from USC, absolute beast. Probably was also competing for that Player of the Year.
Honestly, that was the one where it's like he really had a case.
Yeah.
I think if he didn't get hurt recently, I think that would have helped him out.
Yeah,
I think that definitely hurt.
Cooper Robinson especially also had some banger games
Yeah.
while Dylan Klein was a little bit hurt, performing a little bit less well.
Yeah, let's not get it wrong. I was not saying that Dylan Klein deserves it and Cooper Robinson did not.
Yeah.
Cooper Robinson has definitely just been a killer.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, not saying that Dylan Klein deserved it over him, but
Dylan
Klein definitely had a really good season. People need to, if they didn't know that or didn't think so, I really believe so.
Yeah. Then moving on for Pepperdine again, Cole Hartke, obviously, as he won the Freshman of the Year award. Then we have Zach Rama, UCLA, Luke Benson from BYU, and Cam Thorne from UCLA. Very, very deserving. A lot of UCLA representation, kind of expected though.
Yeah. All right, so the MPSF second team, we have Teo Snooey, and obviously just been killer for Stanford, so that makes sense. The freshman big man, Parker Tompkinson from USC, definitely well-deserved. Trent Moser for GCU, just been a really good outside for them, so definitely makes sense. Another freshman, Johnny Dykstra.
Beast.
Yeah, insane, from USC. Jacob Riley from Pepperdine. We have Meeks Romanis from BYU as well. And then Moses Wagner from Stanford.
Yep. Very, very deserving from all of them. We got the two freshmen here, kind of lit.
Wow.
But let's move on to the honorable mentions. First off, we have Travell Jordan from GCU. Then Caleb Blanchette from USC, great setter. Then Cole Duncanson from GCU as well. Wojciech Novak from Menlo. Gabe Dyer from Pepperdine. Jarrett Anderson from GCU also. And Sean Kelly from UCLA.
Yeah, on it. It's so crazy that Sean Kelly got in here.
I was a little surprised, but yeah.
But it makes sense given the situation. The fact that he came in when they made the move, when Ido David was down and he was hurt, Zach Rama goes to the right. Someone has to fill the void as the other outside, and Sean Kelly definitely did that, and he had some big-time moments this season, for sure.
Big performance, especially from a true freshman.
Yeah.
So, which does take us into the freshman team, so take it away.
All right, so the MPSF all-freshman team has Cole Hartke, obviously, he was first team. Travell Jordan from GCU, we already talked about him. Obviously, the three guys from USC, sorry to let me not get it wrong. Parker Tompkinson, the big man, the lib, Johnny Dykstra, and then Sterling Foley, the outside partner to Dylan Klein. Then we have Sean Kelly, we just talked about him from UCLA. Been big time for them. And then Evan Porter, this guy's favorite libero, pretty much.
He's a beast.
No, but he's been killing it for Stanford. I think, they'd still utilize like the two libs thing, but I mean, he's been awesome for them on defense.
Yep. And I guess just talking about the awards as a whole, pretty well done. I mean, I don't think I'd change too much. I don't know if I would have. I mean, I really like Sterling Foley. I think maybe to end the season, he's been pretty good. I don't know if he should have gotten an honorable mention or not, but still on the freshman team. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think the only thing is it's interesting when you look at the positional, like the way it's distributed, just because it's not by position. Yeah. So it's like, oh, Johnny Dykstra is not higher. Like, he's not the first team lib, or
Parker Tompkinson not being first team, even though the only first team middle is Cam Thorne.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting, but I mean, definitely well deserved for all these guys.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it away from them for sure, but definitely interesting to always look at these because I like to see if they, did they take the position to account, or is it really just trying to just boil down like
whoever
best
the best
volleyball players
and
just rank it that way, I guess.
Yep. And that'll take us over to the Big West all Big West team. I don't think they do their first team, second team, anything like that. But I'll start reading off like the first half of them. So let's go with UC San Diego's first representative, Anthony Sherfan. absolute beast. Love to see it from UCSD. Then we have Donovan Constable from CSUN, Stylian Delibosov from CSUN, Bryce Dvorak, the other UC San Diego representative, great setter. Then Nolan Flexen, Max Grigorov, and Halir Heno from UC Irvine. All great players, and you can take it away with the rest.
All right, Long Beach has Alex Kondev, Dieris McRaven, and then Moni Nikolov. Obviously makes so much sense for them. And then for CSUN, Jalen Phillips, he's been absolute beast recently. Honestly, the whole season he's been killing it, so it obviously makes sense. Adrian Rohr for Hawaii, Trent Rosenthal for Hawaii, and then Christian Tetrisky. Sucks that he got hurt, but he still had an overall insane season, so he definitely deserves to be on here.
Yep, happy to see that he got the award still.
Yeah, and then rounded out, Skylar Varga. Obviously, he's been amazing. The captain of Long Beach, very well deserved.
Yep, been playing great, and now we can move on to the very, very small all-freshman team. I mean, there's only 6 teams in this thing, so we can bang these out also.
We got honorable mentions. You want to do the honorable mentions for that team?
Yeah, we can run through the honorable mentions. We had George Brunning from UC Santa Barbara, Ilu Choi from Hawaii.
Can I just say that this doesn't make any sense? Like, I know
we got no liberos. I'm just saying.
The fact that there's no liberos and Aleo Choi has just been so damn good. I don't really get it. Like, I feel like you have to have at least one.
Yeah.
Like sure, yes, you want to have the setters that deserve it, but there's 4 setters on this all first team or all conference team, and then there's no libero.
There's also 4 right sides, which is a little weird.
Again, really good right sides in the conference. Not saying that that's a problem, but Aleo Choi has been a baller. I screwed up his name before, so I know that was a problem, but damn, he's been so good. So I think that's one that, like, it stood out to me. Like, how is he not on the team?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Positional representation is just super weird with these, like, all-conference teams. Yeah.
Hot take, I think they should just do it. I think you have to do it by position. I think it definitely leads to more snubs, but I think it's just right to do it that way. I think it's just more fair.
Yeah, and it, like, kind of falls in more in line with, like, the all whatever conference team.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, like, you could really build a team out of this.
Yeah, or like, and then just make 3 teams. Like, a bunch of these other conferences did that, but it was also still not really positioned. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just having a gripe with it, but whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll finish out the honorable mentions. We have William Darcy from UCI, Daniel Hirschinovich from Long Beach, Kurt Nestor from Hawaii also, and then Josh Sellinger from UC San Diego, also baller. And then now we can move on to the all-freshman team. Very short. You can just read it off for us. Super short.
Right. UC Santa Barbara got George Bruning. Stylian Delibosov was from CSUN. Micah Goss from UCI. Riggs Guy from UC Santa Barbara as well. Alex Kendev from Long Beach. Moni Nicola from Long Beach. And then from Hawaii, Christian Tetrisky and Adrian Rohr.
Yep. Nothing too surprising here. These are the standout freshmen.
For sure. Yeah. And it's kind of crazy, like, just looking at this, it's like, damn, this is a stacked freshman class for this conference.
Yeah, especially if Moni stays, but
we'll see, man. Yeah. Everyone be talking about it. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. It sounds like he's moving on, but we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah, I don't think he's staying either.
Yeah, but
we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, that's some off-season stuff. Yeah. But that takes us to the end of our NCAA discussions and main discussions for this week. So now we can move on to the rally round. Welcome to the rally round, where we play all of our drafts, blind rankings, other games, have some fun with it. But let's start off this week with another draft. We're still cooking. We have the NCAA random wheel draft. So we put all the top 20 AVCA ranked teams into a wheel, and we're gonna spin it. We have to pick a player from whoever it lands on. It's gonna be super interesting, super fun. We could get either really lucky or really unlucky with depending on how things work out. So let's see how the wheels treat us, and let's draft NCAA teams using a random wheel.
Let's get it. This stuff always makes me scared, though.
Yeah.
I get scared because, like, you really get screwed But like the filter thing, like this is what makes me scared. The filter that we did with League One, like that thing, I got so lucky.
Yeah.
I get so lucky. My positions are generally pretty good. And then I got like 2 Olympians. So I felt really good about that. But this is a different game. This is a different week.
Yeah.
So
And this one has a lot more variance with number of teams, number of players out there. We're getting hundreds of players to pick from.
yeah.
So I'll start us off this time. Who do I got first? Who am I picking from first?
Oh.
Oh, please, please, please.
Oh my God.
We got Loyola Chicago. Okay, we're taking Parker Van Buren. Boom.
Kill the right side.
Yes,
Kill the right side.
perfect.
Makes sense.
Perfect. I love that.
All right. My turn. Come on. Start me off well. Let me get a good start here.
No way.
Oh my God. What is that?
Oh, no. You're good. You're good. BYU. He got BYU.
Oh, man.
He's chilling a little bit more.
Okay.
I thought I just did him like that.
That would have been crazy, actually. All right, so BYU, I'll take Lou Benson. I feel really good about that. Really good pin, so.
Sounds good. Alrighty. Now back to my pick. Let's see who we got. What team we working with here? Ball State. Okay. I'm going to take Patrick Rogers as one of my outsides. I think he's been an absolute beast and perfect spot on my team. Here's his role.
Here we go. Second pick. Oh, okay.
Princeton.
I have to make sure. All right, for Princeton, I'm going to take...
Let's see what we got.
All right, so for Princeton, I'm going to take my right side, Nero Omene. He has been an absolute baller for Princeton.
He is their guy.
Yeah, when you see any of these games, even the game against Long Beach, he was actually putting up just insane kills.
Yeah.
Just because he's huge. I think he's like, I don't know, 6'7", 6'8". He's gigantic. He actually passes as well sometimes for the right side, so he really can definitely do a lot of things for them. So I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, he's their guy. That's a good pick. So now we've both gotten our right sides and one outside. So let me roll mine. What do we have here?
Oh yeah, let me write down the positions as well.
Okay, we got Lewis. All right, from Lewis, I'm taking Nico Paula for my libero. I think this is a good pick. I mean, it's always tough to pick a good libero, so I'm happy I was able to get him here.
Yeah, got one for sure.
Yeah.
MIVA all-conference player, so.
Yeah, could have been tough. All right, let's move you on to your pick.
This is my third pick. We're also doing 7-man roster, by the way.
Yep.
Just so everyone knows.
Please no, please no, please no.
Oh! Come on now! You can't play with me! Don't play with me! Moni Nikolov!
Yeah.
Moni Nikolov! If you didn't hear it again, Moni Nikolov. Sorry for the podcast viewers. I was probably screaming that. Moni Nikolov.
How does this keep happening?
Give me Moni Nikolov.
God dang it. So lucky. All right, please give me someone good. There's no way. Okay. I got Ohio State. I'm going to take Cole Young from Ohio State as one of my middles. 6'10". He's huge. He's going to be up there blogging. That's a beast. We're good. We got some block presence.
You better need one. I got Nikolov, baby.
Yeah, that's the toughest part.
All right, this is my number 4 pick. Number 4. Just give me...
Please, God, no.
Okay.
That's not bad.
I got Stanford. Ooh. Man, I'm thinking Evan Porter just off the top of the head. All right, so for Stanford, I'll take Evan Porter. I think, yeah, it's kind of crazy. I did really think about taking Teo Snooey, and he's just been so good, but I just get scared. I don't know if I'm going to have a lib spot, so I'll take Evan Porter here. Feel really good about that still.
That's a good lib pick.
That's your guy.
Yeah.
That is your guy.
Not biased at all. But let's move on to my next pick.
It's number 5. Round 5.
Okay. USC.
Damn. Damn,
Yes!
you got picks here. You got picks.
Oh,
here.
I got two big decisions to choose from, basically. Oh, wow.
I mean, if I were you, I wouldn't play around. This is me personally, but
I mean, it's not playing around. It's how many middles out there can I get that are better than Parker Tompkins?
But how many other outsides can you get that are better than him?
You're right.
That's
all
what I'm
right.
saying.
Yeah, you're right. For my outside, I'm going to take, or for USC, my outside, I'm going to take Dylan Klein.
Superman.
Yeah. Our big, going to be insane. That's a good pick for me.
Yeah. Damn.
Let's go.
That's tough.
All right.
That is tough.
We got a squad.
All right. I need a little bit more luck here, hopefully. I got a good team so far, so I feel good, but maybe just one more to put me over the edge.
You got
Yes!
You got yourself.
Yes! Yes.
Damn.
So, unfortunately, I already took a right side. I mean, I could move them around, maybe, but I think, to be fair, I should put them in their positions that they play. Mm-hmm. So, I'll take Stilian Delibosov. I don't want to mess around.
Yeah.
He's been amazing. Obviously, they have a really good setter in Donovan Constable. Jalen Phillips is really good for the right side, but Stilian Delibosov, amazing freshman, so I feel good about that.
You need middles in these drafts, so that's
Also,
perfect.
I got the chemistry going right now. I got the Bulgarian guys again. I got them again.
Happening?
I got them again.
Man. All right, we're down to our last two players each. What do I need? I need a middle and a setter, right?
Middle and center.
All right, let's roll it and see what we got. Please.
Oh, I wish I could have gotten Jalen Phillips. That would have been sick. He'd just be OT, everyone.
We got Princeton.
Oh,
we got
oh
Princeton.
no.
We got Princeton.
Oh, no.
From Princeton, I'm taking Ryan Vena as one of my middles. So, good pick. Very good defender. Just won Defensive Player of the Week in his conference. So, we'll take that.
And luckily, I already got Princeton, so I already took my guy Nero.
That did hurt.
All right, so this is my sixth pick. What do we got? Oh,
Santa Barbara.
okay. UCSB. For UC Santa Barbara, I'll take George Bruning.
Solid.
Got my outsides paired up now.
Yep. And finally, for my last roll, we are looking for a setter here. So no matter which team I roll, we're taking their setter. Let's roll it. We pray.
This can be big. This can decide it.
Oh, we're good.
Oh my God. Wow, you had UCLA or Hawaii.
Yeah, Tread
there.
Rosenthal. All right, welcome to the team. We're out here.
Wow.
Perfect. I got a huge team. All right.
Yeah, your team is actually huge.
Yes. We're here. I got a giant team. Man. Team of giants. Let's go.
This is my last middle as well. Yeah, this is my last middle.
Last pick of the draft.
Yeah, last pick of the draft. This can be huge. This can be huge here.
Mount Olive.
Mount Olive. Okay. All right. For my middle from Mount Olive, I'm going to take Holden Marriott.
All right. And that is the draft. So let us know who you guys think won this draft. Now it's time for Guess the Stat. And we are still on League One. And we're going to do one League One thing where we do Guess the Stat. So this week we have the dig leaders for non-liberos.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Ooh,
this one will be interesting.
This is fun, man.
Can you guess the League One leaders in digs that are non-liberos?
All right. I got two ones right off the dome.
Yep.
Kelsey Robinson Cook.
Kelsey Cook is number 1 with 218 digs.
That is insane.
Very
She's top
easy.
5. I know she's top 5.
Yep.
Let me go. Maddie Kingdon-Rischel.
Maddie Rischel is number 2 with 202 digs.
All right. Let's see if I can keep it going.
Yep.
Let me get... Give me Jess Merzick.
Jess Merzick did not make the top 5, but she is in at number 9 with 132 digs.
That's total or outsides?
Total.
Okay. Okay, and then let me do Jordan Larson.
Jordan Larson also did not make the
What?
list. Yep. She had 141 and was tied for 7th on the list.
Oh my God, what? Wait. Who are these players then?
You definitely should know one of them. That's all I'll start off with.
This is digs per set? Or digs
Digs
total?
total.
Okay.
You got to think of someone who's played a lot and is the best defensive player at their position.
I thought I did that already.
It's non-liberals, and not just outsides.
Oh, yeah. Lauren Carlini.
Lauren Carlini comes in at number 3, 174 digs.
Yeah, never mind. Sorry, that should have been easy. I said that really weird because I was thinking about it, and I was thinking like pretty much only outsides. But yes, the setters should definitely be getting digs.
Yeah.
Okay.
That can open up a little bit more for you. Now that you can keep in
guess.
mind not outsides.
Micah Hancock?
Micah Hancock, number 4 with 159 digs.
Okay, so this is the last one, all right? Number 5?
Yep, number 5. The one that you didn't guess so far was Mackenzie Adams. She has 146. She's number 6 on the list.
Oh, okay, that's the other outside. Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
Yep, so now you can stay away from outsides.
My other guess kind of led me to think, is it Laura Dykema?
Yes, she comes in at number 5 with 155 digs on the season.
Let's go.
And there you go. We filled out the list. Pretty well done.
Yeah, some really good defenders that are not libs in the league for sure.
Yep. Actually, a lot of setter representation here.
I know, actually way more than I thought it was supposed to be.
Also tied for number 7, we had Jordan Poulter. So
wow,
a lot of setters up there. Maddie Bug also made top 10. I think she was 10. So
wow.
We got a lot of reps here.
Not even starting, and she was up there.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. But those are our League One stats for the week. Were you able to get them? And now we can move on to NCAA stats.
All right.
I think you're giving me this one.
Yes. All right. So next, we're going to do stat leaders. So this is individuals for NCAA here. So guess the stat leader. Oh, oops. Guess the NCAA stat leaders for points per set, only D1.
All right. Points, total points. So not
per set.
Just,
Per set.
Yeah. Set, points per set, but not just kills.
Yeah.
Okay.
So blocks, it can be aces.
I think that, well, let's just start off easy. We're going Halir Heno.
That's number 1.
Yep.
5.46 points per set.
Absolutely disgusting. Monster. Probably, or could be National Player of the Year.
I will say these guys all of them have scored 5 points per set or more.
Oof.
So,
all right, then I'm pretty sure Parker Van Buren should be up there.
Parker Van Buren is number 2.
Okay.
He is at 5.2 points per set.
All right. Let's see if we can keep it going. Who else scores a lot for their teams? Dylan Klein?
Dylan Klein is not on here.
Dang.
I don't know where he ranks in this, but no, he's not on here.
Skylar Varga. I'm just starting off the top teams here.
Skylar Varga is not in the top 5.
Cooper Robinson?
Cooper Robinson is not in the top 5.
Wowee. Okay, let's start getting a little bit more niche here. Let's go with Jalen Phillips from CSUN.
Jalen Phillips just missed the list at number 6.
All right, damn. Let's go with Christian Tetrisky from Hawaii.
Christian Tetrisky is number 5.
All right. So we're looking for 3 and 4 here.
Christian just squeaked in at 5.05 points per set.
Woo, barely making it over that 5.
So those are the 3 that I think you were definitely getting. The other 2 are going to be hard.
Okay.
You really have to get deep in your bag here. These are tougher teams.
Let's step away from the top teams then. I forget his name right now, but the guy from Princeton, the right side from Princeton?
Yes, we just talked about him, and it is Nero Omene. He is number 3.
Okay.
He had 5.17 points per set.
Okay. Not bad.
So last one is the number 4 spot.
Number 4 spot. Okay, let's see who we got.
He is in one of the big 3 conferences that we've talked about, so he's on one of those teams.
Cole Hartke?
No, Cole Hartke is not on the list.
Okay. I'll just put it out there. Anthony Sherfan from UCSD.
Anthony Sherfan is not number 4. Do you want me to give you the conference that he's in?
Sure.
Okay, so this is the conference that he plays in is MIVA.
MIVA. We got Oguzhan Oguz from Lewis.
No, it is not Oguzhan Oguz.
Shoot.
He is up there though. He is high up there.
Let's go with who I think was a snub for first team. Let's go Logan Muir.
Yes! Number 4 is Logan Muir with 5.09 points per set, just right above Christian Tetrisky.
Well done, well done.
All right, were you guys able to guess this?
This is a tough one. All right, and we completed that one. So now we can move on to our guess the team stat for NCAA.
This is hard because I feel like sometimes like a random team might sneak in there.
Yeah.
I hope not, but I feel like they definitely can.
Yeah, we'll see with this one, but can you guess the NCAA D1 leaders in aces per set? Yeah, there's some obvious ones that you could definitely bang out right away.
Yeah, Long Beach.
Long Beach, number 1, 2.23 aces per set. Thank you, Moni.
Yeah. Let me get UCLA.
UCLA comes in at number 4 with 1.91. Thank you, Cooper Robinson.
And then while we're going, let me get Loyola Chicago.
Loyola Chicago, number 5 with 1.81 aces per set. Thank you, Parker Van Buren.
Yeah, this is usually led by at least one dude.
One more big one that you should get. One player we know gets a lot of aces.
USC?
USC did not make the list, unfortunately.
What? Damn. Is it BYU?
It is not BYU,
Okay.
unfortunately. Yeah.
All right, let me chill.
Yeah. Oh my God, the Keone Glaze, Jesus.
He be putting up stats, you know.
He has insane his
Serving
serves.
stats.
Yeah, serves are very fast.
Yeah, the serving is crazy.
This is a top team right here.
Oh my God. Oh, I trolled. Oh my God. UC Irvine.
UC Irvine is number 3 with 2.07 aces per set. Thank you, Hilir Heno.
Oh my God. Okay. Wait, I have number 2 left?
Yeah, you have number 2 left.
What?
It's a little bit tougher.
I thought actually UCI would have been second.
Yeah. This one, I think it gets a little bit iffy on their standing. They're pretty new to D1, I believe.
I know the team.
Yeah, you've definitely heard of them. Actually, I don't know.
Huh? Is it like a Mount Olive?
It is not Mount Olive.
No, I'm trying to list off the teams that I don't really know. Damn, never mind. I'm not going to know it then. What?
All right, I'll just give you the last one. It's a tough one. We have Merrimack University at number 2 with 2.14 aces per set.
Wow.
Yeah, so great aces coming out of them, but their schedule might be a little bit different from some of the other teams we see.
Shout out Merrimack.
Yeah, but were you guys able to get that? Definitely number 2 was the hardest.
I know. I got tripped up when UCI was not number 2. And I already took a long time to get UCI.
Yeah. But yeah, that one was extremely difficult, but that does it for our Guess the Stat this week. And now we're going to move on to our blind rankings. So this week we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing some, at least for League One, we're doing blind ranking underrated players. So these are players that, not a lot of people have been rating too highly. And we just want to highlight them here, and we'll see how we rank them. Can you blind rank these League One underrated players? All right, so first for the underrated players, we have from Atlanta, we have Gia Day.
Ooh.
Yeah, underrated.
She's been nice, because she's been like that, it's like the 6th man off the bench, but she's like, I guess the 8th woman on the court, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you don't count like the lib, that's 7-man, seven players, but she's like that perfect like off the bench pin hitter.
Yep.
Because she goes outside or she goes right side. She can do both.
A lot of energy.
Ooh, man. I don't really know who's underrated in League One though.
It's tough.
I do really like her though, so all right, I'm a little scared. I'll put her at 3.
All right, set the tone,
I'm a little scared.
All right, your next player from Madison, we have Jennifer Janeska.
Ooh, okay, she's definitely huge for them. She's pretty much like a second libero for them.
Yep.
I actually like her like a lot.
Yeah, very big
for what she
defensive
did.
presence.
And hey man, she honestly was able to score when she needed to. So actually pretty good. Let me put her. Ooh, but Gia Day. Because I want to just do the list correctly. I don't want to guess because I'll put Janiska at 4.
Ooh, that's tough. All right, at number 4, so you have 1, 2, and 5 left. So your next player from Salt Lake, we have Heidi Casanova.
She was really good at the beginning of the season. I thought she definitely had her moments.
I think she still came in, rotated in when they did that double sub.
I'll put Casanova at 5 here.
Okay. Leaving the 1-2 spot open.
Yeah, hopefully I got this right.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. And your next player from Houston, we have Anna Pogany.
Oh, okay. I think, and if we're also just doing underrated, I think she was very underrated for the season just because, I mean, Houston was one of the best defensive teams. She was the libero, so
yeah,
she's definitely up there.
I think she might even be like the least talked about libero in League One.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But she kind of just did her job. It wasn't flashy. You know, she didn't have like the crazy dig moments. She was just playing really good, solid defense. I hate to do this, but I guess I'm going to leave my number 1 spot open. So I will put Pogany at 2.
Okay, well, that means at your number 1 spot from Austin, we have another Anna. We have Anna Hawk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, she was definitely pretty good. I mean, she was pretty much the number 2 outside for that team the whole season. I wish I put Gia Day higher, though.
I mean, Anna Hawk at least had her moments. She's probably one of the better passing outsides on that team. Best passing outside on that team, actually.
Yeah.
So she definitely played her role.
Ooh, tough list, though.
Yeah.
These are all really good players, though, actually. So
very much.
Yeah, definitely underrated.
Yeah. What did you guys think about this list? All right, and now we can move on.
All right. So next, we're going to do some PVF. And we're actually going to do liberos this time.
Alrighty.
So I need you to lock in.
Hell yeah.
I need you to blind rank these PVF liberos. So first, we got Shar Venegas.
Okay, that's she's pretty good national team level libero, but I know there are 2 that I want to put ahead. So I'm going to hope they're here, and I'm going to put her at number 3.
Okay.
Perfect spot for her, I think.
All right, next we got Camilla Gomez. I think that's right.
Okay, yeah, Camilla Gomez. Let's put her at number 4. Yeah, I think that's still very, very solid for her. Great defender.
All right, let me just reset that again. And next we have Camilla Gomez.
All right, I think she belongs perfectly at number 4. I still want to save those 1-2 spots, but she's also very, very good. No shots here.
All right, next you got Elena Ogilvy. That Lib from Stanford, rookie this year.
Shoot. I mean, I'm still going to hold out for that number 1-2. I think you guys have an idea of who you want there as well. So I think she has to go number 5, unfortunately.
Ooh,
that's tough.
Tough.
Yeah,
she's been great, and she was really good at Stanford too. She was really fun to watch too.
Yep.
Next, we got Elena Scott.
There we go.
Indie Ignite Lib.
There we go. Okay, balling out. One of the best liberos, obviously, in the league. One of the best defenders in the league. I'll put her at number 2 and hope my number 1 is exactly who I think it's going to be.
All right. You left the number 1 spot open.
Yes.
Again. You are notorious for...
We believe.
And your number 1 spot is Morgan Hens.
There we go. Perfect. Absolutely the best libero in the league. I don't think there's any question in that. I mean, it's her and Elena Scott, number 1, 2, and right here, perfect in the list.
All right. What did you guys think about this list? All right. So since we're on the theme of underrated, we will do the underrated players for the NCAA.
A lot of underrated players.
Yeah, it's a lot of teams. It's hard to keep track of everyone. So, and obviously we kind of talk about the top 5 teams around there. So just want to give shout out to a lot of the other good players.
Yeah.
So blind rank these underrated NCAA players. First, we have Trent Moser from GCU.
Wow, I really can't even predict who's going to be coming up in this list like that.
It's a lot of guys.
Wow, he's good though. Trent Moser, GCU. Let's put him at number 4 for now.
Okay. So that's your number 4 spot. Next, we have Cole Hartke from Pepperdine.
Ooh, wow, we were just talking him up. Let's put Cole Hartke at number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right above him.
Yep.
All right. I'm sure you can appreciate this guy. Next, we have Donovan Constable, the CSUN setter.
Oh my God, he's actually freaking sick.
Really, really nice.
One of the best setters in NCAA for sure.
Yeah.
He'll go number 2.
Ooh.
Doesn't get a lot of
Number
credit,
2.
especially when the top setters, the only ones anyone ever talks about are basically just Moni, Tread Rosenthal, Andrew Rowan. Let's give him the shout out here.
Okay. Your next player is Teo Snui.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Oh, he's gotten Player of the Week.
National Player of the Week.
Yeah, National Player of the Week.
2 weeks ago, too.
Yeah. I'm going to have to put him number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah. I think he hasn't gotten his name fully out there yet, so he is, I think, of the players on the list, he's the most underrated, and that's how I'm going to treat it.
Okay. So that's the interpretation we're going with, is just really straight up the most underrated.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily the best player, but I'm not. That's not shade.
Whoa!
That's not shade, but that's how you're taking it?
Yeah. I'm going to say he's the most underrated player on this list.
Okay. And then your last spot for your number 5
Number 5.
is going to be Jalen Phillips from CSUN.
You know what? I think he's considered one of the best right sides in NCAA, so I think he is the least underrated. Perfect at number 5.
I just think he's not talked about enough sometimes just because of the other really good opposites.
Yeah.
Obviously, Big West is super stacked.
Yeah.
So it's,
But I mean,
it's tough, but
yeah.
he really is like that.
You know, personally, we already rank him very high,
Yeah.
so I'm going to say, to me, he isn't underrated at all. I'm going to put him at number 5.
Yeah, this podcast, we respect Jalen Phillips on this
Hell
podcast.
yeah. But that's a perfect list to me, and that's going to wrap up the episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Let us know what you guys are predicting for these NCAA conference playoffs, conference finals. This is where we're seeing who's going to make the national finals. So really let us know what's happening in the comments. And thanks so much for watching.
Yeah, stay locked in. Let us know who you guys think is going to win, maybe.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, want to get the discussion going. I mean, even we had a lot of conflicting opinions. So yeah, leave us a comment and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching.
Peace.